Welcome to Women on Death Row. I'm JT. Today, for episode 7, we're going to talk about Wendy Andriano from Arizona. As with every episode in this series, I'm going to be covering this case using primary documentation, provided I could find it. Any sources used will be in the show notes. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so we can notify you whenever a new video is posted or we go live. That's the cheapest and easiest way to support us, and we appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Wendy E. Andriano's case is a compelling and tragic narrative that delves into the complexities of domestic violence, mental health issues, and the legal system's response to capital crimes. In 2004, Andriano was convicted and sentenced to death in Arizona for the murder of her husband, Joe Andriano, in 2000. Wendy Elizabeth Andriano was born August 6, 1970, in the United States, and is currently on death row in Arizona. Wendy and Joseph married in 1994. Their relationship faced significant challenges early on when Joseph was diagnosed with adenoid cystic carcinoma, a rare form of cancer that eventually became terminal. By 1998, Joseph's prognosis had worsened despite efforts to treat the illness through holistic and traditional means, including chemotherapy. During Joseph's illness, the couple had 2 children, and Wendy assumed the role of primary caretaker, managing her husband's needs and working as an apartment manager to support the family. However, she began to struggle with her responsibilities and sought solace in extramarital affairs. Additionally, Wendy became involved in a fraudulent scheme where a friend posed as her husband to attempt to secure a life insurance policy, although no policy was ultimately purchased. On October 8th, 2000, in their Ahwatukee, Arizona apartment, Wendy Andriano murdered Joseph by bludgeoning him with a bar stool and stabbing him with a 13-inch knife. At the time of his murder, Joseph was in a weakened state due to his illness and the presence of sodium azide in his system, a poison Wendy administered to mimic a heart attack. In the early hours before the murder, Wendy called 911, claiming her terminally ill husband was dying. However, when paramedics arrived, she turned them away, citing a do not resuscitate order. An hour later, she called again, claiming she had killed Joseph in self-defense, alleging that he had become violent after learning of her affair. However, evidence showed that Joseph was too weak to pose any real threat, undermining her self-defense claim. Wendy Andriano's trial commenced on August 23, 2004. Despite having no prior criminal record, she was charged with first-degree murder and faced the death penalty. Prosecutors presented evidence that Wendy's actions were financially motivated, suggesting she sought to benefit from Joseph's death through potential life insurance payouts and a medical malpractice lawsuit. Throughout the trial, Wendy maintained her innocence, claiming she was a victim of domestic abuse and that the murder was an act of self-defense. She testified about alleged abuse and a struggle over the knife. However, the jury found her narrative unconvincing, particularly given Joseph's weakened state and the brutality of the attack. On November 18, 2004, the jury convicted Wendy of first-degree murder. The sentencing phase highlighted the heinous nature of the crime, including its cruelty and financial motive. On December 22, 2004, Wendy was sentenced to death by lethal injection. Wendy Andriano has filed multiple appeals since her conviction, arguing prosecutorial misconduct and asserting that evidence of her affairs prejudiced the jury. She also claimed that the jury was not allowed to consider lesser charges like second-degree murder or manslaughter. In 2007, the Arizona Supreme Court upheld her conviction, and her case has continued through the appeals process, focusing on claims of misconduct and improper jury instructions. As of 2018, Wendy Andriano is one of 3 women on Arizona's death row. Her case has attracted media attention and has been featured on television programs such as Oxygen Network's Snapped and Investigation Discovery's Deadly Women, in which they explore the motives and circumstances surrounding her actions. The case of Wendy E. Andriano is a tragic and thought-provoking example of the challenges inherent in the criminal justice system's response to individuals facing terminal illness and domestic violence. It underscores the importance of thorough and fair legal proceedings, the need to consider mitigating factors comprehensively, and the ongoing debate surrounding the death penalty. As Andriano remains on death row, her case continues to prompt critical discussions about justice, mercy, and the ethical implications of capital punishment. Thank you for tuning in to Women on Death Row. If you liked this, you can find all this and more on the True Crime and Wine Time YouTube channel, as well as the Discord called Courtyard. Click the Discord invite link in the show notes and get ready for a great time with fantastic people. You won't regret it. Until next time, take care of yourself, your friends, family, and community. Don't let anybody dull your sparkle. And shine on. Shine on, you crazy diamonds.